let's talk a little more about shame. So I was thinking about when I was younger, maybe between the ages of 5 and 10. Very little, though. And I remember my grandma telling me she was very concerned about image and being beautiful and skinny and blah, blah, blah. And my mom was morbidly obese, and she would just say some off the wall, terrible stuff to me about my mom. And she told me that no man could ever love a fat woman. And I unknowingly carried that with me for so long. And ironically, I think what she was trying to do, because I started I was fat when I was 5. That's the first time I remember thinking that I was fat. And I think she was trying to shame me into not being fat, except it literally did the opposite. It made me more sad because I was already fat. So now I'm being told no man will ever love me. And all I ever wanted was, like, my dream for my life was to be married and have children. How am I going to have that dream if no man will ever love me? And I carried that. And I think, and I never had a boyfriend in high school or college. Part of it was because my standards were high and I didn't want to tolerate people I didn't like. But also, I think I closed myself off because I had that mindset of no man will ever love a fat woman. I didn't feel like I was safe being loved, or I didn't feel like I would ever find anybody to love me. And that affected the trajectory of my life to a certain degree. That I was spiritually protected from a lot of relationships that would have made me stagnant, and they just would have held me back. But that shame, I feel like I in general released it, but sometimes little strands of it come back and I have to, like, snip, cut the cords from that idea, from that shameful thought. And that's something I highly recommend when you're feeling something that you've analyzed to death. Like, you already understand why it's there and you just need to release it. Just think about snipping the cords from that thought. I think of, like, scissors going around my head. So yeah, that kind of shame is what makes someone binge eat. I remember watching movies like chick flicks and thinking, I'm not skinny or beautiful. I don't have those beautiful clothes. I don't have a great job, like, as I got older. And it was like, how am I ever going to be loved? Every message I'm getting from the world is saying I'm not good enough. And so you internalize that and you're like, okay, well, I won't have the love that I want in my life, so I'm just going to eat. I'm going to replace that love with food. And so many people go through that. And I remember when I was married I didn't get, or like when it was in my first marriage before we had before we had my daughter Autumn, I was alone a lot, just watching TV by myself because I wasn't getting the attention that I needed from my husband at the time. We have since divorced, by the way, but I remember just wanting a baby so that I would have the love that I wanted and something to keep me occupied. And that love, that maternal love is so beautiful and amazing. But I did eat to replace that too. I ate to replace love. That is fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. But when you realize the feelings you're trying to replace with whatever you're addicted to, it makes so much sense. There's a reason you're addicted. And it's not just the chemicals in the food. That's a factor, but it's not the be-all, end-all. You're trying to replicate a feeling because you're not getting it from your situation. So, yeah, that's shame and replacing love with food. That's pretty brutal.